Other day, I was watching a video from Pocket Watching with JT, and he was doing a reaction about Bandman Kevo stating never pay back student loans, and I'm like, whoa, like that is crazy. So in this video, we're gonna talk about, should you never pay back student loans? How does it impact your credit score? And if you pay back your student loans, how long is it gonna stay on your credit report? Let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm Tasha from the Major Change Group, where we believe small changes can create big results. And if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. We talk about credit, budgeting, and student loans. Now, we all know that student loans are a hot topic right now because we're still in the no student loan payment or no interest until January 31st of 2022. Now, that has been the case since March of 2020, and we know that Biden has said that this is it. This is the last extension, and we're trying to see, are they going to forgive 50,000 or 10,000 in student loans? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think they're gonna forgive any of the student loans? I sure hope so, but we'll have to see. But when I saw this video from JT, when he was doing a reaction to what Bandman Kevo said, I said I had to do, my take, let you guys know my thoughts on this. But I'm also gonna put JT's reaction in the description so that you can see the full video for yourself. So what happened, Bandman Kevo was on Fresh and Fit's podcast, and he was asked a question in the super chat. Okay, I'm finishing university in about 2 weeks. Should I pay my student loans off in full, or should I make weekly payments? And Bandman Kevo said never. Like, you should never pay back student loans. And I'm like, ooh, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? But when I think about it, looking at it from Bandman Kevo's point of view, he has a lot of money. I don't know if he's a millionaire or not, but he can say never pay back student loans. Because from my point of view, student loans is like the worst debt that you would want to default on. And if we're talking about the aspect from our credit score, this kind of makes me think about the question, would you rather have $100,000 or would you rather have an 850 credit score? So Bandman Kevo is really the 100,000, because if I had 100,000, I don't know that I would care about my credit score, because from Bandman Kevin's point of view, with the cars and the money and the jewelry, he can afford to pay cash for everything, so he doesn't care what his credit score is. But the everyday person like me, on my channel, we always talking about credit. And y'all know in my last couple of videos, I've been telling you guys how I was trying to increase my credit score. So look, I care about my credit, but if I woke up and I had Bandman Kevo's money, what it appears, I don't know. We'll have to see about it. I might be saying a different thing. So I feel like it's a vantage point. So for the everyday person, I would say most definitely pay back your student loans. So if I was talking to this person, I would tell them, if you have the money to pay back your student loans, especially somebody that's like 22 or 24 years old, to not have any debt, that would be amazing to not have any debt. But on the same hand, if you're a person that maybe, because it said make weekly payments, so let's say if you don't have enough money to pay the student loans off, the thing to do would be call your student loan servicer and see what kind of repayment plan that you can get into. They have several repayment plans. You can do the income-driven plan, but the main thing is to communicate with your student loan borrower so that you're not going into default, because they could garnish your wages. And with student loan or any time, well, especially with student loans, I feel like it will really impact your credit score. And let's say you're trying to get a house, a car, because let's say the everyday person doesn't have $100,000 to where they could just, live and not care about their credit score. Like if I want to go get a house or a car, most likely, like when I got my car last year, I got a loan. So I needed a high credit score. And even these days, jobs are looking at your credit. So you want to make sure that you have a good credit score. So, I just feel like from Bandman's point of view, his vantage point, it's possible that he can say that. But for the everyday audience and the everyday person, we care about our credit. But let me know in the comments, do you care about your credit? Would you rather have $100,000 or an 850 credit score? I'd rather have $100,000 because even if I had an 850 credit score and I don't have any money, what could I do with it? So the $100,000, I could do way more with that. Now, the second point that Bandman Kevo said, so first he said, never pay back your student loans. But then if you pay back your student loans, it's never going to fall off your credit report. Now I would say never is a strong word, but 7 years could seem like a long time. But is it a bad thing, especially if you pay your student loans off and they were in good standings? Because that's going to be good credit history for you, like if you go buy a house, a car, or whatever it is that you're trying to do with your credit. You don't want to have a thin credit report because we know our credit it's a score to let our creditors know what is the probability that we're going to pay our debts back. Because if I ask you right now, would you let me borrow $5,000? And I'm pretty sure that you would not. If you would, let me know in the comments. But, you don't know my payment history. You don't know if I'm good with paying my bills. You don't know if I have a lot of credit. I'm overusing my credit. So our credit score is made up of 5 components. You have your payment history, your credit utilization, your length of credit, your credit mix, and your new credit. So let's say with that student loan, you were making the payments and then you came across the money and then you paid it off. That was in good standing. So one, they're going to be able to see that good payment history and they're going to look at that history. They're going to look at that payment history. So then let's say if you go out and you buy a house, when they pull your credit report, they're going to be able to see that good standing that you were able to do that. Because it goes back to my other question. I wouldn't just give somebody $5,000 if they had a bad probability of paying me back. So it's just like your credit is a way for them to know what's the probability of you paying it back. I don't think that it's anything wrong for it staying on your credit report because it's not going to be active anyway, but it's still going to be on there to show your creditors if you do go to get a house or whatever that you were pretty responsible with the debt that you had. And then last, overall, if you pay off that student loan, how is it really going to impact your credit score? Well, like I said, your credit score is made up of a couple of different points. So the installment loan is really going to fall under your, let's say, credit mix. So if you pay that off and it's not going to be active debt that you have, technically it's only going to be that the credit mix is only 10% of your credit. So, that might be 8 or 9 points. But what I did, so with my Chase credit card, I'm able to go in and they have a credit simulator. And so it told me, okay, if I pay off this installment loans, so on my credit, my installment loans are my student loans, and then I have a card payment. So I paid off all the student loans and my car note. That would be great. And basically, it made my credit score go up 6 points opposed to going down. Now, when you look and research, it'll say that possibly it can make your credit score go down maybe like a few points, but really it's going to end up leveling out anyway. But the main point to look at on your credit report is the payment history. Because in the simulator, I said, okay, what if I'm not paying my bills on time? That's where it's going to impact your credit score the most, because your payment history and your utilization is 35% and 30%. So that's 65% of your credit score. So that's going to impact you a whole lot more than just paying off the debt. So I would say, like when we're, even like for me on my channel, we talk about credit, budgeting, and student loans. Even the information that I'm saying, we always want to verify it ourselves, because you never know what vantage point a person is looking at things. So like Bandman Kevo, he's really looking at it from his vantage point because, you know, he has all this money. So although on his channel he does talk about credit, you know, he still has a lot of money that he's bringing in. So on the one point, you know, it's not going to matter because it's like for myself, I have a house, I have a car, I have a lot of things. So on the one hand, although I don't want a bad credit score, I have all the stuff that I need right now. So if my credit score was not that good, it would be okay because I have what I need. But if you need a car, a house, and those type of things, you would want a high credit score unless you had a lot of money. So you really have to weigh out all the options for yourself and look at the information out there. So most definitely check out the video from JT because his reaction, I feel like I went a little soft. But JT, oh my God, he really went hard on it. But check the video out. It's so funny. But also, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. But please like, subscribe, share with a friend, turn your notification bell on so you will know when new content drops. And I thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
It's not a game. It's a